Hey, friends and family, thanks for tuning in to tonight's Thursday Night Thought. Tonight's thought comes to you from our beautiful new townhome that our family has moved into during this transition phase before we take our next steps moving forward. And I thought when I woke up on Monday morning and I was in a new place and my home of 10 years was gone and my family's in this new space, I woke up to a love letter from life. And that's the message that came in this weekend. And for some reason, it just made me think of love letters. It made me think of how special, if you think of your last love letter that you received, how special did you feel when you read that? There's nothing like it. And so I want to read to you these words, and I want you to accept this as the letter from life to you. And the words of this: Beloved, you are fully equipped. Therefore, be strong, noble, master of your mind, consciously aware how wondrous a creation you are. Isn't that beautiful? You can wake up in a space of transition, in a space of wherever you're at in life, and life envelop you as this lover. There's something so incredible about that. And the vision that came to me is actually an art piece by Lee Mikowski. And my family and I collect art. It's something that's very special to us. And I love art because the representation of what art means to us on an individual level. And there's this painting he did of Adam and Eve. And for some reason, this message and this love letter and this idea of waking up in a space of love and creation, this is the visual that came to me. And what this painting represents is a very different depiction of Adam and Eve. You know, most of us grew up learning that Adam and Eve was the story of temptation and the fall of humanity, and almost a very shameful or a lot of judgment with that story. But this painting and this depiction of Adam and Eve brought in a whole different appreciation. Because if you thought about Adam and Eve as lovers, that they were so close, that they were bone of bone, that they were flesh of flesh, that they were living in this ultimate Garden of Eden that was absolutely everything they could imagine. They were living in holiness, union with God. And here they are in this experience where they've been a part of planting these seeds in these trees that they're not supposed to eat the fruit from. But there's this feeling in Adam, and Eve senses it because she's so attuned to him. And she can sense that there's something he's longing for. It's like this experience of hearing your potential, of knowing what could be created, of knowing what you could experience as a human and not being able to do that. It was very binding in some way. It was very bittersweet, very sad. And so you could almost see this feeling of, if only I could step out on my dreams, if only I could eat the fruit of what it is that's been created, if whatever that might represent for you. I just want you to kind of get in that energy space with me of what that might feel like, because it's a very different story. Then what happens is Eve is looking at him and seeing the torment that's going on inside of him, and she wants him to experience this. She wants him to know what a wondrous creation that he is and that he is a part of. And the moment he eats the fruit, he falls into sleep. And it's this dream of him dreaming of the worlds and of his potential and all of these different things. And it's beautiful because it's a separation of realizing that he is a wondrous creation and that he is fully equipped to step into his own reality and world and create his own Garden of Eden, his own place of love. And yet he's tormented by this transition, right? And it just made me aware that that's a lot of what we go through as humanity. But if we can look at it from the perspective of life loving us so deeply that it wants us to experience the deepest parts of ourselves, the seeds that we've planted, things that we've desired on a deeper level, and to bring those to fruition, then it allows us to look at that transition in a whole new light. And to me, that was the message this week. It was a love letter, and it was beautiful. And I just want to sit in that energy and know that life is, if it can encourage you in any way, is to know that life is supporting and loving and encouraging you, saying the same thing, that you are fully equipped. Therefore, be strong, noble, master of your mind, consciously aware how wondrous a creation you are. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to sharing our next Thursday Night Thought together.